We're going to Death Valley National Park to Saline Valley, and we're gonna check out some hot springs.
We're going into Saline Valley, known for hot springs and 4x4 fun.
So I'm gonna let some air out of the tires so we have a nice smooth ride going in. It's supposedly gonna be really washboardy, probably typical Death Valley dust, and airing them down is gonna really make this a smoother ride and allow us to actually go faster.
This is pretty cool. You guys okay?
Unless you had a box of hose clamps.
I think he's good. We got on some baling wire and some other things. So.
You know, let me pull over. I might have a couple. How big of them do you need?
3/4 inch hose. So
Let me dig around. I might have a couple.
yeah?
Let me see.
Got her off if somebody has it, yeah.
Yeah, let me look over here. We'll pull out of the way. And
Thank you.
Hello. Howdy.
there's some people here that have a breakdown, and we're gonna see if we have some hose clamps and maybe help them fix their rig. So I do carry some spare parts, but I think I have some hose clamps. But let's see, I gotta dig into my magical red bag. It's a little messy. This is all electrical. Oops. Get some zip ties, nuts and bolts, a wag bag. Let's see, there's more electrical, Velcro, drill bits, more hardware, kayaking gaskets.
Howdy.
Alright.
We're looking.
Yeah, Ford didn't have a better idea on this one. They put a quick disconnect on the ends of the heater hose.
Oh no.
And the quick disconnect is hard plastic and it broke.
And it disconnected for good, huh?
Yeah, so.
See what we can find in here.
Yeah, things
You guys go to the springs?
Yeah, we're just out. We've been there for over a week already.
Oh man.
We're running up for some food nice and coming back. I know well.
Yeah. How was it out there?
Nice.
Nice.
Yes.
Good.
Oh, looky here. Any of those big enough? Those big ones?
Yes.
Good.
Great.
Yeah, I've rescued quite a few people out here.
Need one or more?
One should do it.
Okay. You think that's big enough?
Yeah, I think yeah. It should be big enough because it'll go a little bit bigger still.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. You're welcome. Note to self: get some more hose clamps. Luckily, you're welcome. Luckily, I had a few. Honestly, I thought I had a few more than I did. So, need to restock up when I get back in town. But I still have a couple in case we have a problem of our own. So it's always good to help somebody out on the trail if you can. Ooh, who put you in charge?
Better watch out. As we came over a berm in the desert, I saw this flashing light in the distance, and it turns out it was the sun glinting off of a piece of metal on this piece of artwork, perhaps. Anyway, cool thing to find in the desert. Just over the hill here, there's a bunch of palm trees, and I think that's the hot springs. Can't wait to go check it out.
All right, the road is getting a little narrower, a little bumpier. As I'm seeing it now, there's a big clump of palm trees, and then I'm seeing 2 smaller clumps. That must be the 3 different springs. It's pretty cool that palm trees grow here. I think they were brought in, they aren't native, but people have discovered these springs and brought palm trees and the artwork we just saw. And we'll see what it's like. This seems like a little oasis in the desert for sure.
I wake up in the morning in this great blue state, golden fingers caress my face, slips through the window on a silky breeze, a dreamer's life, the plants on the sea.
We are in Saline Hot Springs in Death Valley National Park and have this beautiful pool all to ourselves.
So we've made it into the hot springs here. It's pretty spectacular. It's kind of a little oasis. I'm really surprised to see there's manicured golf course style grass here, little bridges, beautiful palm trees. It's really unlike anything else you'd find in a national park. It seems almost like a resort.
Yeah.
The source of the springs are further uphill, and they run the water down through pipes and allows them to have pressurized showers here, which is kind of neat. But all the water goes in order, hottest at the top, coolest at the bottom, and there's a series of pools that give you the temperature you want. All in all, a pretty neat little place for a dusty old family to get clean in the desert.
It reminds me of a Mexican resort.
Yeah, I could see that.
They recycle cans here and use the money from the recycled aluminum to help pay for some of the infrastructure of this area. There's a Leave One, Take One library here in the oasis. This could be the nicest vault toilet I've ever seen.
We've made it to the Saline Valley Hot Springs, and they are nothing short of amazing. It's beautifully kept. It's literally like a little resort. Now, the one thing I gotta warn you about is you're gonna find 75 to 80% of the people that visit the hot springs are gonna be naked. There are certainly other people there that wear swimsuits, and it is entirely up to you. This is a clothing optional spring. We decided to wear swimsuits, and it was totally fine. There were certain pools where there was more people wearing swimsuits. In fact, there was a couple pools where it was everybody in there was wearing swimsuits. And then there was other pools where nobody was wearing a stitch of clothing. Either way you go, it's beautiful. It's a great experience. I just want to give you that little bit of warning going into it. There's really two ways to get into the Saline Valley. You can come from the north or the south. We chose to come in from the north, which you go in from the town of Big Pine. It's a pretty nice road. There's a little bit of washboard until you get to the very last turnoff where you turn off to the left to go up to where the warm springs are. That part of the road gets a little more rocky, but it's really nothing that a normal car can't handle. We did go in a visitor center and asked a ranger about getting in here, and he told us that there was all kinds of ruts and rocks, and it was going to cost you $30,000 to get your vehicle out of here if you had a breakdown or you got it stuck, and gave us kind of the normal horror story that you hear when you ask a lot of these visitor center people about going into these backcountry locations. And really, they're just trying to protect you, protect your vehicle, and make sure you don't get into a bad situation. But we often find they kind of overstate those things and the hazards. And we found it again on this trip. I think this is something in the conditions that we're seeing it today, now that could really change. It probably would be nice to have some off-road tires just because there are a lot of rocks you're driving on. So tires could be a problem in a normal car. But a Subaru Outback with decent tires should be completely fine. Our van, no problem. You see lots of Tacomas and pickups, all other sorts of SUVs back here, and it seems like everybody's getting around just fine. We've now decided, since we came in from the north route, we decided to come out the south way. And when we left the turn from Saline Valley, where the hot springs are, we turned left on the main road, and it did get considerably more washboarded. Not bad, but just bumpy, just slow going. Then we've just come up this hill here, and there's been a few rocky places, but once again, it's a graded dirt road with just more rocks than the rest of it. So, you could have potential to do some tire damage. I would recommend having a full-size spare. You wouldn't want to come back here without a spare at all. That would just be silly. So far, this has just been another amazing tour of what Death Valley has to offer, and I'm really glad we came back here. We're heading south out of here, over to Hunter Mountain, then to the Blacktop. After that, we're going to keep going across Death Valley and see what else we can find to have fun with. Hope we see you down the road. Famagogo out.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, pop.